Well, we've had two cruise ship collisions. Unfortunately, one of them has resulted in the death of a cruise passenger. Royal Caribbean dropping $200 million to revitalize a popular cruise port. And we've got a man that's got a beef with a popular cruise line. Yes, all that and more on today's episode of The Cruise Show.
All aboard! Your ship is leaving. Talking about everything going on in cruising. It's the Lido Loca time. It's the cruise show. It's the cruise show.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lido Loca. Welcome to The Cruise Show. I am your host, Tony, here to talk you through everything going on in cruising. It's everything going on in cruising. It's For Your Face on a Tuesday the 23rd of December, 2025. And look, if you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Like I said, my name is Tony. I'm a huge lover of cruises, and I love talking about cruises. I've spent over 500 days at sea, and if you're somebody who loves cruises too, I would invite you right now, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and we'll get right into today's show. Let's talk about these two stories of collisions. The first one is something that happened on the 21st of December, where two river cruise boats collided with each other in Egypt. The event happened south of Luxor in the Esna Locks, where a vessel Opera collided with another vessel called the Royal Beau Rivage. Look, if you look at this, a lot of damage on the front of these ships. Well, the challenge came for a passenger that was inside one of the cruise vessels. A 47-year-old Italian tourist who was traveling with her husband fell inside of the cruise ship and took a sustained injury to her lung. She was removed from the vessel. She was taken to a local hospital, and she passed away while in intensive care. Fortunately, there's no other injuries reported in this incident. Still unclear why these two ships ran into each other. One thing that has happened, though, authorities have revoked and suspended the license of the captain of the Royal Beau Rivage vessel pending investigation. No charges filed yet, but we'll continue to watch and see what happens there. Now, in another story of collision, a few days ago, we had the celebrity Equinox that broke from its moorings down in Buenos Aires in Argentina and slammed into the pier there, causing hull damage. It's also destroyed one of the gangways that was hanging off of the cruise ship. The accident has been attributed to heavy winds blowing through the port that day. There was a delay in the embarkation of the celebrity Equinox for about 3 hours. But 14 hours after the incident, the ship was cleared and it did proceed on its itinerary. And look, I do have some more positive news and some fun news, but I guess I'm front loading all the heavy stuff on the front end so that we can switch over to jovial mode. I still have two more heavy stories to get through. The next one, a horrible story. We have a man arrested in Port Everglades after spending 30 days on a Holland America line cruise ship. He was on the Volendam for 30 days. This person is known to authorities, and as he was disembarking the Holland Dam, Customs and Border Protection did an inspection of his iPhone and of his other electronic devices, his laptop, and they found the worst kind of images you want to find an adult to have. I think you know what I'm saying, images of minors. And he was arrested. He's been charged with charges that go along with having that kind of material. Like I said, this individual has been on their radar before, identified in a cyber tip back in 2024 from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. He kind of admitted that he's got an issue, and now he's being held on bond and he's up on charges. The reason I mention it is just a reminder that even though cruise ships are vastly safe, there's a lot of people that cruise, and there are sometimes people on cruise ships that have challenges. And so whenever you're on a cruise ship, you can't let your guard down. You have to be situationally aware. It's always good if you've got a buddy system, and always be mindful that even though you're with a bunch of people that are sharing in that cruise life, there could be challenges. So watch out for yourself out there. Now, this next story, not necessarily cruise related, but certainly travel related and social media related. And it kind of hit me hard yesterday. Word came out that YouTuber Adam the Woo had passed away suddenly. And this Adam the Woo guy, essentially a daily vlogger, and probably one of the people that I watch the most. I really do enjoy his content, And recently, he just traveled to Europe, and he went to Rome, and he went to Switzerland. He went to all these amazing places. He just came back. He lived in Celebration, Florida. He just came back a few days ago to get ready for Christmas. Posts almost daily. Well, he hasn't had a video in a couple days. He was supposed to film with another YouTuber, and apparently that YouTuber went and found that he was passed away in his bed. No word yet as to what happened or why. I'm assuming several of you guys out there watch Adam the Woo, and certainly, there's people that are in these social media spaces that are inspiring, and he was a great vlogger. I mean, what you see people doing on cruise ships, he was doing that all over the place 10 years ago. And so people like that plant the seeds that other people pick up on, and it becomes things like cruise vloggers and lifestyle vloggers and theme park vloggers and all that stuff. So I just wanted to pay some respect. Both of his parents are still alive, so that's got to be devastating. Condolences to the family, and then anybody that was into Adam the Woo. I just wanted to say, yeah, we're out here and feeling it. It was very shocking. 51 years old, and somebody that you see every day on your TV, you don't expect not to see them the next day. And it's kind of weird. I don't know the guy, and it is weird how we can form these connections with people that we don't know. And, they don't really mean anything to anybody other than us. But collectively, I think there's people out there that have this shared experience of watching a person or that kind of thing. And, yeah. R.I.P. Adam the Woo. All right, with that behind us, let's move over to something a little more jovial, a little more fun. We'll get into a silly complaint at the end. First, let's talk about Cunard's Queen Elizabeth. It's her birthday. You say it's your birthday. Do. It's my birthday too, yeah. My birthday's a long way off. Shout out Ludacris for that wonderful birthday song. Queen Elizabeth, Cunard's cruise ship. Is it an ocean liner, Queen Elizabeth? I don't know. I don't want to make the ocean liner people upset. Completed 15 years of active service. Queen Elizabeth was delivered to Cunard back in 2010. It was built at the Monfalcone shipyard for Fincantieri in Italy, and it cruises all over the place. So happy birthday. Happy birthday to the 2,000 passenger cruise ship Cunard's Queen Elizabeth. And then not necessarily a birthday, but a makeover. How about that? MSC Magnifica has returned to service after a dry dock. She came out of dry dock with a new yacht club, 2 new restaurants, state-of-the-art spa, and gym facilities. Birthdays and dry docks are part of that cruising experience. It is mind-blowing to me how long cruise ships can live, 30, 40 years, sometimes in the main market, right? And then even at that point, they're sold off to secondary and tertiary markets. Like India's got a booming cruise market, and a lot of those cruise ships in India are cruise ships that did 20 or 30 years kind of in the main North American Europe market. It's cool to see these cruise ships get older. The thing that I always try to conceptualize when I'm on a cruise ship, when I'm in a cruise cabin, when I'm sitting in a seat at a restaurant is like how many other people have slept in this bed, or how many other people have walked this corridor, how many other people have sat at this bar stool. And it's wild. It would be amazing if somehow you could process the memories of all those people in those places. But it is really haunting, like when you see a ship go to the scrapyard, the ghost of all of the vacationers that kind of exist in those ships. It's okay, that's a weird metaphysical place to go, but it's that kind of day. But yeah, so it's cool to see these cruise ships hitting milestones. Congratulations both to Cunard and to MSC. MSC. Now, I forgot about this story. I was going to tell you about the complainer, but I forgot that I've got this cool story about Royal Caribbean. Royal Caribbean's not stopping, right? So they just launched their new beach club in the Bahamas on Paradise Island. I've seen all kinds of social media coming out from that. It looks fantastic. I can't wait to actually sail into Nassau and see that party going on there at the Royal Beach Club. And well, now they've made an agreement with St. Thomas that they're going to invest $200 million into the port area there, investment in the Crown Bay district, which if you've ever gone to St. Thomas, you kind of come off of those cruise ships and there's all these shops and the little tourist area. It's pretty nice, to be honest. It's pretty nice, but certainly after Royal Caribbean drops $200 million there, it's going to be interesting if there's something that's exclusive to Royal Caribbean. I'm not seeing that in the initial press releases. I just see that Royal Caribbean saying, hey, one of our best spots is in St. Thomas. Let's put some money into it. $200 million going to that port area there in St. Thomas. Now let's play the game that we like to play here. Entitled Cruiser or Valid Complaint? I'm going to read a message that was posted in a Princess cruising group. It's a little long, but I'll try to read through it fast. So here we go. Person writes, I have a major beef with Princess Cruises. On the cruise I just finished, Sky Princess, I lost over $3,000 on an option trade because the Wi-Fi speed was so slow. I was unable to log on to close the trade timely. The IT guy on board saw my post on X.com and reached out to help me resolve the problem going forward by bumping me up to the high-speed internet. I didn't even know there was a higher speed. While it didn't change the fact I'd lost more than the cost of the cruise, it did resolve the problem for the remainder of the cruise. However, we are booked on a 25-day transatlantic, and I simply cannot deal with the slower speeds. The issue is that the only way to get the higher speeds is to buy the $100 per day premier package, basically $5,000 added to just to get the higher speed. We don't buy the packages because we don't drink, only hit the specialty dining 2 or 3 times, and already prepaid our gratuities, so this price is unreasonable. If this is my only option, I will be canceling the 2 mini suites, which I've already spent almost $20,000 on. Princess must come up with a better solution to Wi-Fi, or our last cruise on Princess really will be our last cruise on Princess. This is nuts. First and foremost, sir, if you're the one posting this, you do have another option. You can buy the internet outright. You can buy the high-speed internet outright without buying the package. So problem solved. If you've already dropped 20 grand on your cruise, the extra $500 or $600 for fast internet during that time should not be a big deal. I guess the real question that needs to be answered here, entitled cruiser or valid complaint? Now, let's talk about this. 23rd of December. That means we're 2 days away from Christmas. I've already got my kids and other people coming in, so I'm going to take off tomorrow, the 24th, and part of the day on the 25th. Everybody's leaving our house by the evening on the 25th. So Jenny B and I said, let's do a live show. So we're going to do a live show, a Christmas live show, 9 p.m. on Christmas. And I do want to remind everybody, I am hosting a trip to Ireland in June of 2026. I am super excited about that. This is the first time I'm doing it. I've got a buddy who is a travel host, and we're going to be taking a group of people to Ireland in country for 10 days, meals, flights, hotels, excursions. There's going to be all kinds of stuff going on, and it's just going to be a small group. So I think I got about 8 spots left. So if you want to do travel in a different way and you want to see me not on a cruise, which would be a whole new phenomena, I've can't think of the amount of times I've stayed in a hotel in a foreign country. Not that many, because I'm always on a cruise ship. I'm going to leave a link in the very first pinned comment, but you can go to lalidoloca.com/Ireland to get all of the information. And I think that's it. That's everything that's going on in cruising. I'm going to roll the outro a little bit, but all the cool kids know what to do. This is Tony for La Lido Loca. Until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.